Good evening. So, this is probably about the 15th time I have tried to do this tonight. I'm sitting outside on my porch and um, the tractor's going and a lawnmower pulled up, and yeah, so I, we're just gonna go with it and see what happens tonight. Pretty tired. I haven't been on here. I've only done two, and I haven't been on here. I did do a podcast last night. They're just way easier for me to do. I don't have to have lighting or anything like that, and I live in basically a dungeon. It's so dark in here, so it's really hard for me to find a spot to do recording, and my internet is terrible. So these are going to be harder for me. I want to apologize for the glitter. I've been making wreaths, and the material has glitter all over it, and so I can see I have glitter up here on my forehead and glitter all over my face, and I'm sorry about that. Um, so last night I did the podcast, and I talked about my self worth, like or not self worth, my confidence in myself. I make crafts all the time. I love making crafts, and but I give them away. I like to put people, smiles on people's faces and let them know that they were being thought of, and that's what I do with my crafts. And so I'm pretty nervous about in a couple weeks because I'm selling my wreaths, and I'm nervous about that because I've never sold them before. So that's different for me. Um, but I don't know if they're good enough, and I'm pretty funny when it comes to things because I get so excited when I get them done, and I want people to see them. And I still have a bubbly personality. It's just very um, hidden from a lot of people. But I do get so excited when I get a wreath done, and I want so many people to see them and compliment them, and but then I think, oh, they tell me it's good, but they're probably just being nice. I just beat myself up about them all the time. So, but I made one the other day, and I sold it that day, which was the first one I've ever really sold. So, um, that's good. Um, kind kind of excited about it. So we'll see what happens in a couple weeks when the garage sale comes. And so I talked about that and how one of the things that I remember saying last night is like I get excited, and I set myself up because I want to hear the compliments, but then I tell myself, they're just being nice, and so I put myself back down, and it's just a war in my head most of the time. I'm my worst enemy. But we talked about that, and then empty nest. So my my son is a senior, and he came home with these graduation papers, and it's just getting to be that time. And his name's Oliver. He's not here every night. His dad lives 5 miles down the road, and so he just has always stayed wherever Oliver wants, typically with his dad. But his dad has the PlayStation and TV channels, and we still run off DVDs, and um, we don't have the PlayStations and stuff. And anyway, so it's probably more fun for him at his dad's. But he's graduating, and a few years ago I have 6 kids. So at one point I only had 2 girls, and like the first, the oldest 3 left, and then the 2 girls were there, and they left right around the same time. And that was hard. Um, that was really hard. So I've kind of experienced the empty nesting already, and I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna feel it again here in a few months when my son graduates, but maybe it won't be so bad because I've learned a little bit of stuff about me. Before I didn't know what I liked. I knew what my kids liked, and um, so it was really hard on me to um, have both the girls move out at the same time. And so I talked about that on the side of my podcast too. Um, I think it's very normal for people to lose confidence in themselves when they've been traumatized, when someone has taken the trust away and stole from them. Um, I'm not saying like they stole your TV or your car. I'm saying they stole part of you. They knock you down. Um, you just lose a little bit of yourself, and confidence in myself is something I've never really had. I've always questioned any nice thing that anyone says to me, and so maybe one of these days it'll get better. I seem to be working on it, and I'm getting out there more and talking more anyway. And I'm starting this thing, but I'm not really doing it for me. In a sense, I am because all I want to do is help people. I like helping people, and I like making someone's day and putting a smile on people's faces. So um, part of it's for me because I'm just a giving person, and that's what I like. But in reality, it's basically to hopefully I reach somebody so they can be like, "Hey, I heard you yesterday, and what you said helped," or I read some of your poems and it encouraged me to write, and just something positive has got to come out of this. That's what I feel like in my heart. So you get to listen to me babble, and we'll just talk about this and that, and um, some days I'll be scheduled, I'll figure out things to talk about. I thought about talking about the power and control wheel. It's a pretty neat thing to know. It talks about um, different type, like abuse broke up into, different sections, and um, it's pretty interesting. And one of these days, if I remember to grab it, I'll read it to you guys. And then there's different types of um, safety planning, safety plan things to do. Um, One of the things that I thought was interesting when I was learning the safety plan that I never really thought about myself is, it says to go into another room. Like if you're in an argument and you think it's going to get heated, you go into another room. Well, that makes sense. Try to de-escalate the situation. But then it says, don't go in the kitchen. Uh, don't go in the bathroom because there's no exit. There's sinks and stuff. Don't put yourself in a room where there's more more could be things in there that could cause more danger. Find a room that has another exit. And so that was kind of interesting to learn because I never really thought about that. Um, so there's different types of things, a lot of things that we can talk about and discuss, and there's new techniques coming along, and like on the internet when I see that for a sign you need help, and so there's so many different things out there in this world that are being utilized, ordering pizza and um, getting help that way. So there are so many things we can talk about. Some days I'm just gonna feel like talking though, and today I did trainings, and so I got a night bugs out here, so I have a few little bugs landed on me. But I did some training today for work, and um, Tuesdays I do a support group for domestic violence and sexual assault victims in the area. So I'm always busy. I get home late late on Tuesdays, Um, so today I did training. Now I'm finishing up step one of this training that I'm doing, and you're gonna hear a lawnmower, and I'm sorry, and I don't know how to get it to be quiet. Maybe it won't be so loud. Um, so yeah, that's what I did. I'm getting ready to do this, in person training. They're getting me ready to do. So been working on trainings today and making wreaths. That's all I've been doing every night. And I finished 2 up tonight, and I'm making a breast cancer awareness one, and I'm excited about that one. I ordered the decorations for it, and well, I had my sister order them, and I tried calling her to see if they ran because I was gonna pick them up on my way home, but she didn't answer. So I don't know if I got my decorations in or not. So anyway, um, one thing that I think it's important for people to know is they need to know things that they like to do, things that keep their minds busy. One of the worst things for me is um, not having anything to do. It seems like if I sit down and think, I'm my worst enemy. I will put stuff in my head that I don't need to think about it. I don't need to be sad and I don't need to be depressed, but I can sure seem to get myself there just by thinking. So I think it's important to stay busy, and do therapy. I see a therapist too, and I think it's very beneficial. But I I keep myself busy with crafts, and I write. Of course, I write the poetry, but I only write when I'm upset. I don't write very often when I don't have anything to get out. So, but I love fishing, and that's probably my favorite thing to do is fishing. Just being out there at a lake, and it's so quiet and peaceful. You can hear the locusts and the frogs croak and the coyotes howl in the distance. And I love fishing. And I talked about that on the podcast last night. And you said one of these days I'm going to fish in the ocean. That's one of my dreams is to go fish in the ocean and see what I can catch. Never done that, so maybe one of these days I'll get it. I use stink bait and worms. That's what I use to fish with, and my husband uses it too, but he uses a lot of lures, and I don't. I don't understand lure things, so I don't use them unless he puts them on a pole and I cast out and reel in. I don't know if I do it right or not. So, but I do like fishing. Um, I have a bit of a cold, so I'm sorry about all the coughing and the sniffling and whatever I'm doing. I'm going to the doctor in the morning to see what I can do to help get rid of it because it's starting to really drive me crazy. But I'm gonna hear the tractor again. Hopefully, it's not too loud. He's backing out, so and it's probably full of metal. My husband stays busy and he works hard. He's a hard worker. So this is our life. He's typically out there staying busy and doing things, and I do crafts, and we go fishing together, and sometimes we sit down and just visit, but neither one of us stay still very well unless we're not feeling good. So typically we're busy. He makes a lot of things with wood. He does really good with wood projects. So he made a swing set for this a porch swing for this garage sale we're having, and I'm pretty excited about that. It's a beautiful swing. He did a really good job on it. So yeah, that's kind of like what we do. We just kind of hang out, and I'll go jump on the tractor and ride around with him sometimes. So just whatever we can, whatever we need to do that evening, we just do it. And we normally go in about 9 o'clock and shower and get ready for bed. We always eat together. Typically, we always eat together. We always have supper together. So I think that's important. I really enjoy eating dinner together. So um, I guess I'm just babbling about my life. I don't. Not really much is going on in my head today. I really don't feel very well, so that might be why. Um, it's kind of loud out there too. So I did hear that my son is thinking about going to college for mass communication and for talking. He wants to talk on the radio. Thought that was pretty cool. Um, he'd be really good at it. He's a funny kid, and all my kids have funny moments in there. That they all have a good sense of humor, but their personalities are completely different. So, um, but yeah, so I was. Um, I guess I enjoyed hearing that about him. I think he would do something. I think he would do really good at that. So I'm glad he thought of something like that. I never would have, but and here I'm kind of doing it, I guess, on this. But anyway, um, see, see, he's dumping his metal. Um, yeah, just sorry. I am sorry about the noises. But I have no way to get away from them. So, and it's just part of who I am. I guess I'm not going to apologize for how we live and what we do. And this is just us. And um, Kelly's my husband. I don't know if I've ever told you his name. We're pretty different. It's kind of neat how we work. Um, I'm pretty quiet, and well, I'm not pretty quiet. I am quiet, and um, I'm very law-abiding. I don't speed. I don't. Um, I'm, I have a fear of authority, I think, and I very quiet. And my husband's pretty loud. And sometimes he likes to go fast in our car, and um, so yeah, we're opposite. We're opposite in a lot of ways. Um, we'll go into a store, and he'll get loud, and I'll put my head down, and I don't want the attention drawn to me, and yeah, so we have different personalities. But I think we work well together. I think he helps me be stronger and more confident in things, and I might tone him down a little. I might give him a look like, not right now. And, so I might help tone him down a little. I don't know. I probably don't, but I can tell myself that. It makes me feel a little better. So I brought up stores. I could tell you one of my quirks about me. Um, I don't like stores. Not at all do I like shopping. I have anxiety and panic attacks in stores. And I do better when I'm with my husband, but I still have them. If I go to the local store and I know where everything is, I have like this set routine. And if I can follow that routine, I can get out of there okay and be okay with what I got. But um, if you put me in a different store and I don't know where anything's at, and in a bigger city or whatever, I just start buying random stuff. And sometimes we don't even use what I buy. I just put stuff in a cart and I go pay for it and I come home and I have no clue what happened. But I don't know why. I don't know if it's the decisions that you have to make in a grocery store. the strangers in the grocery store. There's so many choices in a grocery store. And then there's that fear that your card's not gonna work because sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. And so when you go to pay, you have a fear of not being able to pay. And so much happens in the store with me. And so I don't like I don't like shopping. And I'll go when Kelly, Kelly will go with me and we do okay. And I go if I need to, if I absolutely have to, or if it just makes sense for me to be out. I'm already out, so why not do it? But it is, it's a challenge for me to go shopping. And I think it just has a lot to do with all the mixtures of everything, the environment, the strangers, the choices, there's so many choices, and the fear of not being able to pay for it, and just and lots of people, not just strangers, but lots of people in stores. So I think that's probably what it is. But um, so that's one of my quirks about me, and I don't know. So tell me about some of your quirks. What are things that you do that you want to work on that you know that you probably got by trauma? Something happened to you and you probably got it. Maybe knowing I'm not the only one that's a um, spaz in a grocery store would help me. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me anymore, but um, I do have problems in stores. And yeah, so I'll probably keep this one fairly short tonight. Not really short, it's 22 minutes long and didn't really talk about anything, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's just what we need to do. And I'll do another one maybe this week. I don't, well, probably not. I'm going to have my grandson this weekend. So maybe next week, maybe next week I'll get another one done. And I'll definitely do a podcast. Those are way easier for me. So I'll probably do more of those than I do these, but I'll still try to do them, and I'm not going to quit them right away. But if I seem not to be, if it seems not to be working, I might eventually quit it, but it won't be for a while. So, okay, well, you guys have a good night. Remember, you're worthy and you're worth to be loved. Bless y'all.